Dean Martin, born Dino Paul Crocetti on June 7, 1917, in Steubenville, Ohio, came into the world at a time of great challenge. He was the son of Italian immigrants Gaetano Crocetti and Angela Barra, and the first language he learned was Italian. English only became familiar to him when he started school, a fact that gave him a quiet outsider perspective that he would carry throughout his life. Growing up, Dino faced the realities of life in an immigrant household during the difficult years following World War I and leading into the Great Depression. His father worked as a barber, shaping and cutting hair in a small town where opportunities for immigrant families were limited. His mother ran the household, managing the family with discipline and care. Dino learned early that life was not handed to anyone, and he carried the lessons of hard work, patience, and resilience into everything he did. From a young age, he understood that charm and charisma alone were not enough. He had to earn respect, navigate difficult situations, and adapt quickly to the people and world around him. By the time he left high school at 16, Dino Crocetti had already worked a variety of jobs, each of which added to his understanding of life. He worked in steel mills, pumping and shaping metal in the grueling conditions of the industrial North. He pumped gas at local stations, took jobs in small restaurants, and even tried his luck as a blackjack dealer in underground casinos. For a time, he experimented as an amateur boxer under the name Kid Crochet, a nickname derived from his family name, which shows the versatility and determination of the young man. Every job gave him something to bring to his later performances, a sense of realism, grit, and lived experience that made him relatable and authentic. These early experiences were not glamorous, but they gave him an edge that many of his contemporaries lacked. They also created a sense of toughness beneath the easygoing persona he would later project. In many ways, Dean Martin's public charm, his smooth voice, his relaxed demeanor, his effortless cool, was built on a foundation of hardship and self-reliance. Every smile, every confident gesture, and every perfectly timed pause was informed by years of observing people, working hard, and learning how to survive in a sometimes harsh world. Music was always a part of his life. Inspired by crooners like Bing Crosby, young Dino discovered that his voice, rich, smooth, and intimate, could capture emotions without exaggeration. Unlike some singers who push their voices for effect or drama, Martin's style was understated. He sang as if he were speaking directly to each person in the room, creating a connection that felt personal and natural. This quality would define his career and distinguish him from other vocalists. He eventually adopted the stage name Dean Martin, a simple, memorable name that reflected the polished public persona he wanted to project. Nightclubs, small radio shows, and local events became his proving grounds. Audiences responded not only to his voice, but to his ability to embody charm, ease, and confidence. He made even simple songs feel meaningful, showing an understanding of timing, phrasing, and emotion that was far beyond his years. However, it was his partnership with Jerry Lewis that changed the course of his life. In 1946, Dean Martin teamed up with Lewis to form one of the most iconic comedy duos in American entertainment. The combination was electric. Martin played the handsome, relaxed straight man, while Lewis embodied the manic, unpredictable comic. Together, they dominated nightclubs, radio, and eventually the silver screen, creating a brand of comedy that was both hilarious and enduring. The chemistry was undeniable, and audiences fell in love with the pairing. Behind the scenes, however, the relationship was more complicated. Creative differences, contrasting personalities, and the pressure of constant touring and performing created tension. While Martin's approach was cool, disciplined, and understated, Lewis's energy was chaotic, wild, and relentless. Yet Martin learned from this partnership, honing his timing, refining his stage presence, and observing what audiences responded to most. Their split in 1956 could have ended Martin's career. Many believe that without Lewis, he would struggle to maintain relevance or visibility. Instead, it became the perfect opportunity for Martin to reinvent himself. Freed from the constraints of a comedy duo, he stepped into a broader range of work, showcasing not only his musical talent, but also his acting skills. His dramatic performance in The Young Lions in 1958, alongside stars like Marlon Brando and Montgomery Clift, shocked critics and audiences alike. For many, seeing Dean Martin in a serious role was a revelation. He was no longer just a charming singer or comic. He was a fully realized actor, capable of depth, subtlety, and emotional resonance. At the same time, his solo music career flourished. Hits like That's Amore, Everybody Loves Somebody, and Memories Are Made of This established him as one of the leading voices of his generation. In 1964, Everybody Loves Somebody famously knocked the Beatles off the top of the Billboard charts, a remarkable achievement in an era dominated by the British invasion. His music was timeless, bridging the gap between traditional pop standards and the emerging trends of the 1960s. During this period, Dean Martin also became a central figure in the legendary Rat Pack, alongside Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, and Joey Bishop. The group redefined live entertainment in Las Vegas, blending music, comedy, improvisation, and an air of effortless rebellion. Martin's persona, perpetually relaxed, a drink in hand, and always charismatic, was central to the group's image. While many assumed he was often intoxicated on stage, much of the act was carefully theatrical. He understood how to project an image that disarmed audiences, making even casual gestures feel spontaneous while maintaining total control behind the scenes. The Rat Pack years elevated Martin's fame and cemented his public image, but they also showcased his ability to work as part of a group, balancing personalities, timing, and improvisation. His professionalism was quietly legendary. He could hold a stage, interact naturally with colleagues, and make complex performances look effortless. By the mid-1960s, his versatility and charm had caught the attention of television executives. The Dean Martin Show, which aired from 1965 to 1974, became a platform to showcase his talents as a singer, comedian, and host. On the show, his casual demeanor, quick wit, and self-deprecating humor masked a deep understanding of timing, audience expectations, and production. Each episode reinforced his image as the man who could make the most difficult tasks look easy. Audiences felt a personal connection with him, as if he were speaking directly to each viewer, and that intimacy became a hallmark of his television persona. The show not only cemented Martin's status as a household name, but also allowed him to explore different aspects of entertainment, blending comedy sketches, musical performances, and improvisation with a relaxed charisma that few performers could match. Even as television brought him new fame, Martin remained true to his musical roots, recording hits and performing live, always maintaining that balance between charm, professionalism, and authenticity. His work ethic was quiet but formidable. While it appeared effortless on screen, it was the result of years of preparation, observation, and discipline. Martin's early life, his rise to stardom, and his initial successes illustrate a journey built on resilience, skill, and a profound understanding of performance. From a young immigrant boy in Ohio to a globally recognized singer, actor, and entertainer, Dean Martin navigated challenges, reinvented himself, and mastered the art of making the difficult seem easy, a quality that would define his legendary career for decades to come. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, Dean Martin had firmly established himself as one of the most versatile entertainers in American history. He was no longer simply the charming nightclub singer or the smooth member of the Rat Pack. He was a seasoned performer who had mastered multiple forms of entertainment, including television, film, and live performance. Despite this success, Martin remained grounded in the principles that had guided him from his early years: discipline, authenticity, and a quiet professionalism that allowed him to excel without showing overt effort. His reputation for being calm, collected, and adaptable made him a highly sought-after collaborator for producers, directors, and fellow performers. In 1981, Martin made a surprising return to the big screen in The Cannonball Run, an ensemble comedy that showcased not only his acting skills, but also his ability to play off other personalities in a large, chaotic cast. The film, which brought together many well-known stars of the era, was not critically acclaimed in the traditional sense. Many reviewers dismissed it as lighthearted chaos, a formulaic road race comedy with slapstick humor and exaggerated scenarios. Yet, audiences loved it, and it became a box office phenomenon. Dean Martin's contribution to the film was subtle but crucial. He brought a sense of effortless charm and authority that grounded the otherwise frenetic energy of the story. On screen, Martin seemed completely at ease, delivering his lines with timing and subtle humor that only a performer with decades of experience could achieve. The success of The Cannonball Run led to a sequel, Cannonball Run 2, in which Martin again appeared alongside an all-star cast. Though the second installment did not achieve the same commercial or cultural impact as the original, it allowed Martin to demonstrate once more that his charisma, wit, and professionalism could adapt to any production, whether it was serious drama, musical performance, or over-the-top comedy. These projects also revealed another side of Martin, his willingness to embrace new opportunities, even late in his career. While some entertainers of his generation might have resisted appearing in comedies considered lowbrow by critics, Martin understood the value of connecting with audiences and staying relevant. He recognized that entertainment evolves, and he was willing to explore new formats without compromising the qualities that had made him a legend. Around the same time, Martin also returned to his musical roots, recording and performing with renewed energy. While popular music had changed significantly since his 1960s peak, with rock, disco, and emerging pop trends dominating the charts, Martin continued to release songs that reflected his timeless style. One notable recording from this era was Since I Met You Baby, a soulful track that showcased his ability to interpret material with warmth, subtlety, and emotional depth. Unlike younger performers chasing trends, Martin's music was grounded in his own voice and experience. The smooth, velvety quality of his singing, combined with his relaxed phrasing and understated emotional delivery, allowed him to reach listeners across generations. Even as technology changed the way music was produced and consumed, Martin remained adaptable. He participated in projects that reflected the emerging music video era, including creating his first music video which aired on MTV. At a time when the channel was dominated by flashy pop stars, neon aesthetics, and highly produced visuals, Martin's appearance was understated but effective. He relied on his natural presence, timing, and charisma to create a video that highlighted his musical talent and connected with audiences in a medium unfamiliar to him. Significantly, this project was directed by his youngest son, Richie Martin, making it not only a professional milestone, but also a personal one. Collaborating with family added a layer of meaning to the work, blending career achievement with personal connection. Beyond films and music, Martin remained deeply engaged in television, occasionally appearing in specials, interviews, and variety programs. His ability to balance humor, sincerity, and charm allowed him to maintain a connection with viewers who had grown up watching him as part of the Rat Pack and as the host of The Dean Martin Show. In all of these endeavors, Martin demonstrated an important quality: adaptability. He understood that the entertainment landscape changes, that audiences evolve, and that relevance requires both innovation and respect for tradition. Unlike performers who relied solely on past achievements, Martin continually refined his craft, exploring new formats, collaborating with younger talent,